Welcome to the Tony Wilson Fishing Show. I very often get asked, what are my favourite or most hard fighting fish I like catching? Well, it's not always about the length of the fight with the fish, it's about the actual shape of the fish itself. And one of the best fish I think that looks really aggressively, predatorily fishy is our sea bass, as they call it now. For the last 300 years we always knew it as the bass, but now the chefy and restaurant people call it, oh, it's a sea bass. No, it's a bass that lives in the sea. I suppose you could call it a sea bass. Great fighting fish, very aggressive on the takes. I was going to throw these clips away and I thought, well, do they want to see it? They've probably seen it somewhere or other. No, put them together. There's a lot of beginners out there and newcomers that haven't seen some of our bass fishing tips. Here you go, guys. Out in the boat with Wayne. Bass, Wayne, you reckon?
Don't know. I'd like to think it's a bass. There's hardly any speed to the drift though, which
what did you have on there? Was that eel or?
Eel, sand eel.
Sand eel, yeah.
Dead, you know, frozen eel. Well, it's all right though. It's
a good one, yeah.
Well, it's not. It's okay. You know, it's not. If it's a bass, it's not a shoal bass. So I'm taking my time a little bit with it.
Have we got? It's just starting to flood, haven't we? It's just starting to flood.
It's only just started. It really is. There's not a lot. It's come up in the tide a bit, which makes you think it's a bass now. It's moved across the tide. It sort of stayed down a bit, which made me think, well, was it a bass or not? But now it's gone up a bit. I'm thinking it's definitely got to be a bass. And it feels alright. It feels like a reasonable one.
Wow, he's going now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going okay.
There we go. Got him in the net.
There we go.
Oh, good bass, Wayne. Yeah, that's a clonker. It's not bad, is it? Eh?
No, he's not bad.
It's not a bad fish.
There we go.
And on frozen sand eel.
Yeah, that's a sand eel. Well, look, you can see there. I'll show you everything about it. There's the hook up, perfectly hooked up in his jaw there. We'll have that out quick. He says. There we go. I should be keeping this bass for dinner because it's a nice size for me to keep. All the rest should be going back after that because we only have to keep one. So literally goes in just behind his eyes there. So when it comes out, the hook comes out just literally middle of his head, just behind his eyes, and that's it. And that's a lovely way to hook a single sand eel.
And he won't spin, no?
No, and that's a 2-0 sort of quite a strong hook though. That's a little bit of 20 pound. That's just plain mono. I think that's amnesia or something like that. About 5 foot long. Very simple rig. Literally, I'll show you everything I've got here. Bead running on the main line. A swivel there with the weight on it. 3 ounce weight. Another bead. Hook link. Quick link. And there's your trace. And I'm all for keeping it simple.
That's why I'm here, Wayne. I don't get any simpler, but that's a good one.
And that's the one, my one for the day that I'm going to keep. So here'll be dinner, nice size for dinner. Get anything bigger, or anything smaller for that matter, it's going back.
So he's in again, tide's picked up, water's very coloured, you can see around here, look. Very coloured with the current, I guess, that's doing all that. And this time, whole mackerel. And it's giving you a good scrap in it, Wayne. Very
good, yeah. Funny sea bass, I've caught some nice fish at anchor when I've been cod fishing. Don't really give you much of a scrap with a sort of a 10 ounce lead on. But when you fish like this with a light lead and you're drifting, it's a totally different fight altogether. They really do give a good account of themselves. And this fish is certainly
he's going well, isn't he?
Oh yeah. Pulling hard.
I'm always amazed myself how they get these whole mackerel down their throat, but they do. And he's coming up. Oh, a nice bass. Wayne's got the net.
Oh, I've got to give him his head a little bit.
This is a proper one, guys. I can see that silver. You know what I want to say?
Oh, that's a nice fish, Graeme.
That's a nice one, Wayne.
That's a real nice fish.
That's very close to doubles. Wayne's going to do him on his own. Do you want me to net him or?
Yes, please.
Right, let me just.
I'd be surprised if he's not a double.
I've got the microphone in my mouth. Take our time on this one. Oh, he's in. Oh, look at that one. That's a good one, Wayne.
I'll be amazed if he's not a double.
Look at that, whole mackerel. Oh, Oh, you should say he is. You got him, mate?
I've got him now.
And I was just asking Wayne about the coloured water, and he said, no, it doesn't matter. That is a nice lump of a bass, Wayne.
That's a good fish. That's a very, very nice fish. Let's get him out of the net quick. Whole mackerel. I mean, this is a nice bass. Look at that. Look at that, the way that the hook perfectly in the lip. Absolutely stunningly hooked, and that is a very, very nice fish.
Crackerjack, well, that one, yeah.
Quickly get him up in the air. Very nice fish.
Even got his fin up for us as well, hasn't he? Got his fin up there.
He's still in good nick, so...
So, dropping down a whole mackerel like this, you can actually snip the tail off a fish like this, and it stops it spinning in the tide. But when you're drifting, pretty well you don't get affected by the tide. So I don't mind leaving the tail on the end of it. Fingers crossed, I get a hook up. We've got two fish hooked up here at the same time, guys. A couple of double bass, and Wayne's on squid, and I got a sidewinder, blue and white sidewinder. Hopefully they don't cross up. We're doing a double wicked tuna here.
More one coming.
I'll keep mine round the back if I can. Oh,
it's another nice fish, man.
Oh God, that's a nice fish, Wayne. Oh my word! Oh my word! Oh dear, forget £2 bassing. Look at that! There's a squid. See the squid on it? Get in there. Oh, that's bigger than the last one. That is fatter than the last one, Wayne.
On a squid?
I'm a purist. I'm on a lure. Oh, that's bigger than the last one.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Well, it's a nice fish, isn't it?
This will be a smaller one because it's... Listen, I'm talking smaller. It's not small. But this one, I'm going to put this one back. Yours is going back as well, isn't it, Wayne?
Yes, it is.
So we're going to put these fish back, guys.
Yeah.
Here we go. That's a fat bass. That is a. Now I'm gonna. If he comes off, it don't matter anyway.
No.
I can get him off. Get hold of me hook. I got him now. Oh my God, he's not that small, Wayne. No, oh my God! Look at that for a pair of bass. That is unbelievable.
Want to know what I called it on?
Mine fell out. That's mine.
And
there you go.
Squid. I fancy trying a new for me anyway. Just putting a squid on instead of a mackerel. I'll show you how I hooked him. In fact, we'll get this fish back.
Yeah, I'll get mine back. But look at that, people. I'm going to put it back with a microphone as well. There we go. Let's get this kitty back. I'm going to zoom him this one like this and not get spiked. Away he goes. You can see him kick, and away he goes. Wayne's going to get that one away. I'm going to get my lure down again, Wayne, while you do that.
Okay, mate.
Alright, it's pulled out, I think.
Feels like you snag the bottom sometimes, man. They hit hard.
No, I'm on this time. Small fish. Small fish. I'll take it. Am I inside, outside?
There.
Switch over. Maybe he's not a small fish. Now those big ones seem to hold the rod down, and they were just totally different. I'll take it. Whoever comes along. I'd say definitely a 4 or 5 pounder, but at the end of the day, superb bass fishing. I could have bought a lot lighter rod like you got there, Wayne, couldn't I, really?
Yeah, I've got one spare if you want to use it.
I might have a go with that one. Where is he? He's not like the size of the others for sure, but... Oh, he's a nice one. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I got a feeling that might...
Is this a mark or what?
What? Look at the size of that one, guys. He's absolutely... I had about 3 takes before that, unless it was the same one. He's eating the net as well. There's the shad. Oh, he's out. Come out. He's certainly nailed that. There's a hook. He's out, Wayne. Oh, look at that one. Yeah, I'd say that'd be probably bigger than that one we had shark fishing, I think. And look at the mouth on it, guys.
Lovely fish. Beautiful fish. What a Marcus is.
This is going to upset a lot of people. There's a lot of people going to be upset by this. I'm going to return it. As you should. That is absolute stonking bass. There he goes. Wow.
There he goes. Bang.
Back up for another drift, Wayne?
Get in.
Silly question that was. Bang. Oh. Oh. My goodness me, he's off. We'll drop it down again, see if there's another one there, another customer at home. And there is, I felt the bang. And there he is again. Keep the crank on this one. There he is. A little bit less drag. A little bit less drag. There's some good sized fish. I don't want to bend the hook out. I don't know what these lures are like, but when I first went in by hand, I noticed the hook had opened a bit, so it might be soft hooks. So I've got a slightly stiffish rod. I mean, if I did this again, I'd definitely have a lighter rod.
These ones are perfect. These are the multi-tip things, these leader rods.
Yeah, they're soft. They're soft as well, and they give you...
They're strong. They're 12 pound class, so...
He's coming, he's coming. Now that is a smaller one. That's a standard size, you say, for lures when you're range that one?
I would say, yeah. 3 to 5 pound. You get them quite often.
Hold still, buddy. I just crushed the microphone. And away he goes. Yes, that was pretty incredible bass fishing. But as you know, I'm an all-round angler, always have been. I fish for all different types, whatever, anywhere, anything. If it's a fish, I'm going to try and catch it, hopefully. Anyway, great to get that bass fishing. I hope I get out again. More bass, more bass. That was brilliant fishing. Another type of fishing I enjoy is fishing for barbel. That's a river species for those who live in other countries. Very, very powerful, strong fish in the rivers. It's a bottom feeding fish, goes along the bottom of the gravel riverbed for those who don't know, and they get coupled to as well a chub. The two sort of live in very, very similar water, but the barbel like fast flowing rivers. Anyway, there's a chap I fished with once, Peter, a bailiff on a stretch of one of the rivers I fished, had some great fishing there, and he's going to give us a few tips on fishing for barbel using rolled luncheon meat. Now, only this past year, 2020 I'm talking, this is 2021. Last year I had the most fish, barbel wise, I've ever had in my life in one day. You people haven't even seen the film yet. It's brand new. What was it using? Rolled luncheon meat. Let's get down the river and see if we can learn something. I'm freezing cold and I've just hooked up. I don't know what I did, right peculiar bite though. Right peculiar bite, rolling the meat round, tapping it, and I cut the corners off like I showed you before. No idea what it is. I think it's a small barbel. I sort of hope it's a small barbel. I haven't seen it yet. It's just digging at the moment. Oh, even better, guys. It's a wild brown trout. on luncheon meat.
It's not a small one either.
Tell you why, it's really scrappy.
I can't make this fish out. It's absolutely digging its backbone at me as well. I just saw one flash on the surface. I hope I'm not being stupid saying it's a wild brown trout. I sort of hope it's a salmon or something. It's a weird fight. I'm going to net it the first chance I get.
Make sure I wet the net first. Got my other line, but I've got no clue.
I've got him. A totally awesome wild brown trout on luncheon meat. This is a totally awesome record. Just look at this fish. River Kennet wild brown trout. Look at the tail on that. Not stocked. Teeth on it. In a weir pool. Oh yes. Not a barbel, but what a beauty. We're going to get it straight back. This is a beautiful fish and rare.
So, any particular luncheon meat that you're going to show us how to use there, Peter?
My own personal piece of meat is spam. I like to use spam. I'm not advertising it, but it's a good hook bait. When you put the hook through, which I will show you.
Now you've got quite a long shankish hook there?
I've got a long shank hook there, and then I push the hook straight through, just bring it round the outside, pull it up, and that is all ready.
Now you've got it on the edge of the...
On the edge.
Just on the edge there, it's not buried, is it?
No, it's not buried. And the other fact is, I use spam because when you strike, the hook will pull through this meat.
Okay.
It's not too solid enough to make it
so restrict it.
So the hook won't come out. So it's just, and it stays on the hook, so it's a good bait.
And it's still pretty fatty, that one
It's
too.
still pretty fatty as well. And I don't flavour it at all. I just, as it comes out of the tin.
Because some of them put that gunk, is it? They dip it in juices and
They
that.
put all sorts of stuff in there, but I've never used anything like that in my life.
Straight out the tin.
Straight out the tin.
Now you've got something different on there, Peter. What's that?
Just a little bit of plasticine. Just squeeze it onto the line. That's all I use. I normally have a little dust shot just below it to stop it from slipping down. But I find it's a lot cheaper than weights to lose. And very often when you get snagged up with a fish on, it can be your weight which has got caught into some snag. Whereas if it's plasticine, then the line would just pull through. Whereas if you've got a weight on there with a swivel, then it just jams up and breaks your line. So also that helps a lot.
And that still gives you a bit of weight for casting and sinking.
Weight, yeah, and then I can add to it, take some off, put some on.
Yes.
No messing about, you know, different conditions, different places to use it just for different flows of water.
And what, good 2 feet down, so quite a long way from there all the way down to the meat.
Yeah, I might go a little bit shorter than that sometimes, but around about that.
And reel line, anything special on your spool there?
No, nothing in particular, just a 10-pound line straight through.
10 pounds, so pretty strong line then, yeah?
Yeah, look, fair strong, yeah, and I'll keep it right the way through, you know, just a hook tied on the end of the 10-pound line, and that's it, all ready to go.
And your biggest catch, I know, was several double figures, wasn't it, in one day? In the winter, was it?
Yeah, back in the winter time I had, I think it was 4 doubles. There were some 14s amongst them, and they averaged 9 £9.14, I think it was. I'm not absolutely certain, but I think it was £9.14 or £9 plus. That's what the average was.
Well, let's see if you're lucky now, Peter. I'm going to stand behind you and watch and see if I can get any tips.
Well, we can hope.
Well, I'm pleased to show us how to do it, Peter, but I want to come back. But I know there's rain and I know it's going to flood. So what are you suggesting? Where should I go to have a shot at something?
I would certainly say go up into the weir, the big weir, or either the smaller weir. And they're good spots, even when the water's in flood. You do get slacker water there and not so much rubbish coming down. Like today, we've got quite a lot of leaves coming down at the moment, which makes it a little bit difficult.
Sure, but you're definite adamant on this rolling the meat business.
Absolutely. And also, while you're rolling the meat down in these conditions, with the leaves coming down, the leaves are not catching up with your line because you're going.
Oh, of course, you're going with it.
You're going down with the leaves, sort of thing. So
that is a good tip. That's a good tip.
You get caught up to a certain extent, but not in the same way as if you had a static bait.
Right, let's get this chappy
I
back.
think he's ready to go back.
He's recovered, yeah.
Right, now I purposely, if you can see this, there's my hook, and I've tied this, so hopefully you can see the fishing line here, on 50-pound line. There, I'll pull it back a bit, you can see it. That's on 50-pound line. Now I put a barrel swivel, which is a number 10 black barrel swivel, doesn't shine, got a 50-pound test. Here's my fishing line for my rod and line, top of the tip of my rod. It comes down, and I put this barrel swivel in there. This would obviously normally be about 6-8 pound line, and then about 15 inches to the hook. Now, easy way to hook up is obviously just push it through the square and turn it, okay? That's a standard way of doing it. I'm going to do it anyway to show you. So you just push the hook straight through there, pull it out the other side, get it with my nails. As you can see, it's pulled right through there. And you can just give it a little twist and you can turn it and just tap it back into a different hole, not the same hole it came out of. Now that makes that really strong, and I use that like that. Generally I put the hook on the outside, I'll show you in a second. I like to use that if I'm in a fairly weedy, not necessarily snaggy situation, but where I don't want the hook point showing, you know, because it's going to snag. Every time it's bumping along the gravel, it's just rolling the meat, it's got to move along, it's going to catch, and you know, I want to be able to strike through it. Now the better way to do it, I'm going to pull this one out. Obviously as soon as I'm going to put it right through like this, and I won't damage the meat too much. If I'm over clean gravel that I know is not sort of snaggy, it's not too much stream or weed, I put it in about a third of see the bend of the hook there, the gap, that's from the shank of the hook to the point. There, you can see it better there. From there, the shank to the point, the gap, let's say that's just over 1/4 inch. I come in 1/4 inch there, just on the edge of the meat, and then I push it in, it cuts through. Now I bring that point out the other side, you can just see it, but instead of burying the point there, back in the meat, I fold it just on the outside. Just on the outside. Ouch, he said, spiking yourself on the hook, and that's exactly what I've done it for. I could just ease that in there. You might just be able to see there's a tiny little pip of point. Ouch, it's hanging on my hook there, look, on my finger. There's a hook point. Look, I'm holding that. Ow, 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 ow. Don't be stupid, Graham. Ow. Got no barb on it, so I can take my hook off. Take my finger off. Take my finger off. As you can see, if I'm casting out, that could snag weed. So that's why I bury it in the first one. But if it's clear gravel, just leave that little hook point up there. And then when they grab it, you've already got something when you strike through that's going to nick the skin. Now, should you have a really long piece of meat, even bigger than that, and I thoroughly recommend for barbel using a really big piece of meat, I make using just a paper clip. If you think I'm buying something, you are sadly mistaken. Open out a paper clip. I use a plastic covered yellow one, and that's purely because I can find it when I don't want to lose it in the grass. So if you had, or you wanted to string together, let's say 2 baits, the hook, when you go to push it through, is pretty obvious that hook there is not long enough to get right out the other side. So you want what's called a baiting needle. Well, I've made my own baiting needle there. So all I've got to do is push the paper clip right through. It comes out there, comes out the other side. You see the little bend I've made in it there? I just lay the bend of the hook in it. Tricky to do, it's easy to do quickly, to be honest, rather than trying to do it slowly. And then I pull it, look, here it comes, all the way out, right through. That hook, yeah, he's come clear there. You can see it's actually on the hook point, on the hook bend there. Unclip it, drop it down, and then you can either bury it, or you can leave it as I did, just over the edge. So you can, and I'll tell you what, this is good for carp as well. You can fish chunking great big pieces of luncheon meat, and trust me, a big 8 or 9, 10 pound barbel is going to suck that straight down the tube. That's going down the hatch, as is a big double figure carp. Right, so that's another little tip. Now if you're casting out, I'll pull it off, with a single piece like this, and it's rolling around, if it's slowish current, okay, that square effect is going to just lay in its, say my fingers are pieces of weed and bits of broken gravel and bits of wood on the bottom, it's going to snag in there, it's not going to roll. So you can either trim it with a knife, bearing in mind a lot of other anglers will generally just be using square ones, and of course the barb will get to know about this, and they'll just gently mouth a square piece, whereas if you take the time to just nip off the edges, you can even use, like this pair of scissors. Scissors are easy. You're basically giving it a haircut. Now look at that, that's a perfect ball, as you can see. There's the square, there's the ball. It's not rocket science, is it? But that, look, it's just going to roll around on the gravel. If it's slow current and it's snaggy, it's going to move, it's going to twist. But if it's rolling along, don't forget, it's not going to twist the line, because up here, I've got the barrel swivel. There. 2 more final tips. If it's clean open ground, I can use some shot for 1 extra weight, just to get it sink, and I can put the shot just up from that barrel swivel. Now, if I can find the split, I'll put it on there for you. Excuse me while I bite this and break all my teeth off. Ow! Okay, there's a swivel, and that can rest, obviously this is 50 pound line so you can see the line, up against the swivel, gives you casting weight, helps sink down. The other way to do it, and this is really one of my favourite methods, again it was showed to me by this guy who used to do what we call pocket fishing for barbel. I'm going to do this again, I'm going to do it again. Here comes the dentist. Ow! I put the shot, generally a swan shot on SSG, right down on the hook, absolutely up against that knot. And then what happens is when you cast into pockets of streamer weed, that just drops and sinks right down. The shot's sort of not up here a foot or so to snag, it's down buried and gets all carried along in the current by the buoyancy of the meat. So a nice little tip there, isn't it guys, a nice little tip. So there you have the way to get rolling meat, and trust me, if you cut it circular, you'll be doing something that the other anglers aren't doing. So that's different, and of course it will roll better. We're going to add some totally awesome water, and I'm going to get down that River Kennet and see if we can't see if this rolling meat method will actually work.
Guys, 125th cast. Rolling meat. Big time, big fish. I'm going to have to say, if I get a chance he's got me weeded, I'm taking it. I'm not messing around. Not that I'm going to get it yet. I'm a long way from getting it. Oh. I'm going to get to the other side. It's me again, I'm still on. I think I've got him out the weed. I think I have. Oh! It's a biggie. Totally awesome strikes again. It's not as big as I thought it was, guys, but it is a beaut. Check it out on the map. Yes, sirree. A nice barbel. Let's check it out. Gentleman Peter is always right. Is it not annoying? Oh. Not as big as I thought. Big enough. I don't know, £7, something like that. Look at that fish. And do you know what? He had about 3 or 4 goes of that. I wasn't really sure of the bite. I didn't hit the first one like Peter told me. Just let it sit for a second and then let's let him draw. But he didn't bang it at all. He just, well, it was a sort of a draw, a slow pull more than anything. But there we go. Thank you very much, Mr. Kennet and Mr. Pork Fatty Luncheon Meat. Rolling meat, guys, I'm on. I just changed swims from that weir. Oh, don't go in the weed, please. Yeah. Looks like he's weeded me. Got him out. That is a big fish. Goes to show you, rolling meat does work. And it's rolled me in the wee bit again. I don't believe it. God damn it. Oh, it's a big chub. Oh, ladies, I thought it was a barbel. It's an absolute whacker of a whacker of a chub. Bloody hell, it's a big chub. Pardon my French. Oh yeah, this is a 5+. This is a 5+. Oh, jeez. Look at this. Oh, this chub is obscene. Oh, let's get the weigh mat out. I hope we've got enough camera left. That is a monumental chub. Man, that's the other side of 6. It's the other side of 6. I just want you to take a spin past this chub, because that chub, I'm telling you, that cannot be a million miles away from £7. It is absolutely huge. Look at the size of it. Let's get him weighed up quick. I've not got much left on this camera, unfortunately. As you know, that's why I kind of figured, well, why is this barbel? It keeps burying me in the weed. I know I was trying to sort all my tackle out. Let's get this kiddie in the water. I can't believe that. £6, 7 ounces. Look at the size of it. Just hold him to recover. Let him recover. He's so big his back's out the water. His back is out the water. Hello bud, how you doing? No bread today, I'm afraid. Just chub. Well guys, I don't know if you're going to see this or not. I got one last minute, rolled meat, put a heavier lead on, and second evening, had a go at it. I've got one, I'm going to bring it to you, show it to the camera. It's pitch black. I don't know if you're going to see it. A nice barbel. Gave me a huge scrap too. And I changed swims just as another angler moved out. See if I can get it for you, show you on the map. This one. This is a really nice barbel. Gave me a heck of a scrap. Barbless hooks, you know what? It's a biggie. It's a nice big fish. Oh. Wow, was I lucky or what? I don't even know if you're going to see it. Here we go. Come on, baby. This is a beauty. This is a beauty. I'm hoping I'm close enough that you can see this is a crackerjack barbel. Look at the size of that. And look at that paddle of a tail. Huge. What a scrap. I'm just hoping you can absolutely see something of this fish. It's foggy, it's drizzly, it's all against me. totally awesome strikes again. Let's get this puppy on the scales. Guys, it's £9.4, I can't deny. I thought it was a double, it's not. It's £9 4 ounces, but what a beauty. Let's show it to you before we get it back. There you go. Yes, you should be able to see that one. So it shows you rolled meat works, even in the pitch dark, even in the dark. £9.4, what a beauty. Am I a happy bunny? Am I going home?
Well, some great fish in there on rolled luncheon meat. Now, what about really big fish? Those were some quite big fish, weren't they? They were big. Big barbel, was that £6, whatever it was, chub. Great big bass to double figures. How about a fish? £900. Think I'm joking, don't you? Well, no, because I got sent a little disc from Phil Williams from Fishing Films and Facts, who I've known for years. Gazonk, we both used to write fishing magazine articles together. Phil sent me down, Phil, Phil, it is actually, it's Phil the Fish pretty well. He did a lot of fishing, did a lot of small boat angling and really pushed it and you know, moved a lot of people into catching big fish from small boats. Anyway, this was from a trip that he had with Big Dave who's been on our big game fishing trips. He came on one and had some horrendously big fish as well, but this was something else. £900, can you believe? Anyway, thanks to Phil for letting me use this clip. I appreciate it, Phil, thank you. I'm sure some of the guys are going to go, holy beep, that is some kind of shark. Forget the blues, threshers and poor wiggles. This one is a biggie. So this is a pretty well volcanic mountain. You can see the sort of lava type flows going down there for some huge geologic, well, transformation. Anyway, imagine that going down towards that point of land in the distance. It keeps doing that under the sea, and that's what gives it the depth there. Incredible depths close to shore. The depths fishing here were just 600 metres. Now here's a different technique. Here's a skipper dragging a small squid backwards and forwards across the surface of the water right behind the boat. Now if you watch, it's a standard method that they use, especially the Spanish long pole fisherman for albacore. Boom, he's got a dorado hooked up there. So that's something totally different. I've done it over there. I've had to go with a big bamboo pole. It's not particularly easy, but you know, he lives there, or used to. I think he's out in the Cape Verde Islands now fishing for marlin, and fingers crossed you get fish like this female dorado, which is a very, very good eating fish. Now also you can get people like this man, rippling with mussels. Does anybody recognise him? Oh my God, it's only Mike from TA Outdoors who was catching fish like this yellowfin tuna when he should have been at school. His father kept him out of school, and worse, yes, took him out night fishing 2 o'clock in the morning when he should have been tucked up in bed, catching these muscular, tough escalachinos. But there's the man himself with one I do believe was an 89-pound fish. Let's get on to the interview.
Okay, the average size on this shark in this water is between, you can calculate between 400 until 700, 800 pounds. This is the average. You have also some very small, but normally not. But the most is between the 400 and 800, 900 pounds. This is the most shark you can find. The thing is, in El Hierro, we have, like in Madeira, like some place in the world, we have a very, very close water, very deep sea, very close to the land. And we have also the possibility is no traffic, not a lot of traffic about, and so we can stay on the place, and also the wind gives you the opportunity to fishing nearly without moving. So this is the most easy way to catch a sea-scale shark. Okay, the best time of the year to catch a sea-scale shark, it can be bit after April until October, November is when in the what we call the calm sea, where you have the most possibility is quiet. The rest of the year also exists of sea-scales, but the condition of the meteo is different. It can be a lot of wind, and you cannot, and this way you cannot come on this place. So if you don't have any possibility to catch the shark. The only thing is here you need to come here. You need to be a little bit training because it's a really heavy fish, and okay, a little bit of patience and like some place where it's very quiet place where you don't have a lot of people and only you come for really more for fishing.
So just looking on here, you can see Dave's just had a pickup, and when I say a pickup in 600 metres, it's like a tiny tap on the rod top. We generally, when I was fishing out there, put a light stick. I actually took my own light sticks out there as well, because of that depth you want every bit of smell and every bit of light you can get to attract a big shark. And when you go out there, they anchor up to a buoy, and no, not that type of buoy. An anchor buoy, you can see it in the background there, just on the left of the picture by the rod top, like a big raft that's moored out there in 600 metres of water, so they can tie the boat up and then drop the bait down, and you know, you're not drifting out of the mark, because in 600 metres you're basically down the sloping side of this mountain continued undersea. And what happens is you fight the fish, but it doesn't really get heavy until you get it well up in the water. You need to get the fish probably almost over halfway up, so you've got to use 300 metres of about winding like this before you get really tight to the fish. Even Dave's harness there is a bit slack, but you'll see later on when he gets the fish really close, it is very heavy. But just look how close they are to shore.
He wants 1,000 pounds.
He wants 1,000.
I want the one. Okay,
I just want one fish.
yeah, it's one fish.
More than 220 and then I'm happy.
220 what? A pound.
Because like winching a boat up onto a trailer.
On the bottom.
No, when you winch a boat on the trailer.
Yeah.
It's the same. A 2,000 pound boat.
Just take a note of how that spool, you can do lots and lots of turns, because the spool diameter is low. The other thing in these hot countries, if you're fighting a big fish, and this one was well over an hour fight, you need to cool yourself off, make sure you drink plenty of water. And the skipper there's putting a soak towel around Dave's neck because he's going to be cooking there in the sunshine. There's no way at all you can rush big fish. You just got to try and fill that spool up, spread the line from side to side, and it has actually got a 2-speed function on this type of lever drag reel to aid you retrieving. Now, there's absolutely no way you can rush a big fish like this. You can wind as fast as you want, but eventually just the sheer weight of the fish alone will stop you winding. And as the reel fills up, it's going to get harder to turn that handle, and you need the lower gear speed.
That's a welcome sight. Here comes the marker. Only another 150 feet to go. Almost there. Almost there.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. Is it fighting back again?
Oh, he's definitely on his way, I've just seen him.
Thank goodness for that. An hour and 10 minutes. He's still going.
Small fish.
Small.
just look at the width across the head of this shark, it gives you a pretty good indication of exactly how big it is.
Yeah, leave it and open the pipe. You want to see some small fish? And it's taking with the
Big fish.
yeah, I know that. Tell me that to me. And not happen. Okay, good. It's coming down.
Well, I hope you enjoyed those little clips put together. You've got big bass, big barbel, big chub, and a really big shark, for which you need that type of guy. Anyway, let us know in the comments if you enjoy watching that, because before I go deleting all clips, I might just put them together as a little montage to keep you guys amused in the lockdown. Ha! Lord knows, I need amusement of editing as well. I'm going up the wall just locked up all the time like this. It's not much fun. Anyway guys, thanks to Phil for letting us use that clip. I'll find out if I can find some more clips like that as well. Don't forget, hit TA Fishing and TA Outdoors subscriptions, tinkly winkly little notification bells, anything you want. Merch is out there if you want it. Great if you do. If you don't, whatever, you know us, we don't ram it down your throats. Well, just have, and I'll just have. Anyway, if you want it, have it, support us. If you don't, you know what it's like. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Appreciate watching, and watch out for more TA Fishing films. £900. That's a big fish, isn't it?